Hey, what's up, everybody? Dusting powder mode. After a shower, I like to put my powder on. I'm off today. It's Friday, the 23rd of January, 2020. Some of you may have heard Patrick's conversation with Hip TV with regards to the money he's trying to collect from Davido and Peruzzi on the royalties and other fees. This thing has been dragging on since 2017, and that's when I got involved in it. Portions of my investigation had to do with the death of Davido's three friends. The investigation was shabby. I was arrested 3 times in my own case, and my arrest, especially my third arrest, could have damaged that investigation because I was behind bars. I couldn't do much. Well, let me tell you what's going on now. Today, some of you may have heard the video on my page that HIP TV made when they called Patrick. Patrick disclosed today that Davido tried to poison him. Like he didn't say allegations or allegedly, he said like he poisoned Tagbo. A lot of you know that when I was doing my investigation, of course, which you always ignore until it's too late and I'm vindicated, when Tagbo was with Davido, they were in some kind of club or bar. And the whole idea was that he drank too much and he got intoxicated. And they took his body into the car and wound up the window, so he suffocated. I called it murder. Everybody said, I'm mad, I'm crazy, I'm insane. Okay, now when they did that, they left. They went to the next club, Shisha or something. But at the end of the day, guys, look at how everything happened. Who abandoned him in the car? The police said they arrested 2 of Davido's associates and all. They questioned them, they released them. At the end of the day, can't bring Tagbo back. It was Tagbo's birthday. They poisoned him, allegedly said, they poisoned him according to Patrick. You know, these are the little things that an investigative journalist looks into. At that time, I didn't know Patrick. They had a lot of people around them. There were a lot of associates at that party. Now, Patrick is identifying as one of them. Now, I personally think that the police needs to open that investigation again and arrest Davido. That's what I think personally. They need to arrest him and his associates. Everybody that was at that party that night need to be arrested. Okay, I'm not talking about invited. They invited Davido, he didn't come. Finally, he came with his lawyer. And some things you wouldn't hear. The third time I was arrested, October 12, 2017. 5 days before that, I was investigating the death of Olu and Chime, Davido's associates that went to the Banana Island restaurant and died right after they got into their car. They were vomiting blood, thick clumps of blood. Let me tell you something. I already interviewed the family of Chime. Okay, I interviewed them anonymously. One brother, one sister. Chime never used drugs. Okay, and Olu had a girlfriend, Ajumabi's daughter. Olu himself was the son of a billionaire. He was supposed to have gone to England, but he wanted to tend to his new investments, a petrol station, I believe. And that's what his father said. But he happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was Davido's DJ. Whatever they ate in that restaurant, if you're vomiting blood and big clumps of blood, your gut has been cut. Okay, and only one thing does that. I'm a pharmacist. I'm a clinical pharmacist, a doctor of pharmacy. The only thing that makes you vomit blood and cuts your gut is poison. Nothing else but poison. So they were poisoned. I said it at the time. As soon as I wrote my report on what I thought, I did 4 videos for Edgar Imohini, Lagos State Commissioner at that time. And I begged Mr. Imohini not to close this investigation and open it. Someone in his office called me from the police department. I cannot say the name of the person, anonymously. I know who it is. It's a police source. I have to call it. The officer told me that Demola called over there, okay, to the king. I don't know what king it was, but Lagos has like many kings. I don't know whether it's king of Lagos, king of Egushi, there's a lot of kings, king of Badagry, anyway, the officer told me that Demola called the king and said that the police shouldn't mess with their son. That's exactly what the officer said to me. don't mess with our son. At that time, Demola was in Abuja as a senator. That's what the officer told me. At the end of the day, this investigation just quietly died down and closed. Tagbo was laid to rest while I was in prison. I was arrested the very next day, the 12th of October 2017. Tagbo was laid to rest. Chima was laid to rest. The day I was writing this was when Chima was laid to rest. I remember Chima's mother taking his body and going to their village in, I think, Anambra, but they did not want that autopsy or something of the sort, I heard. But I remember posting the details of the service, the church, and all that. I went to court the very next day in Port Harcourt. That's what I was doing there for a court, another day of my trial. And I was rearrested outside the court because they said I didn't come for another hearing, that I had a medical note for. Of course, let's forget all that. That's gone now. At the end of the day, I was arrested. And at the end of the day, prison doesn't have TV, radio, or internet or anything. But the next inmate that comes in, we always ask them what's going on outside. And the one inmate that came in told us that Tagbo has been buried, DJ Olu, all of them have been buried, and the case has been closed. But one thing I really challenge Imoheni for is the fact that they did not disclose what they found at the scene. They just said they found hard drugs in the car. Okay, hard drugs in the car. Now, Patrick is talking on his interview in Hip TV now about, oh yeah, the proverbial weed and all that, and Davido uses risky. Risky is hippie cocaine, hippie crack, okay, with the balloons. Some people say they see Davido holding balloons all the time. They just think it's celebration. It's for drugs, okay, nitrous oxide and all those things, inhalants. It kills people. At the end of the day, risky, Patrick disclosed that risky is a drug that Davido abuses all the time. But at the end of the day, the information about Adeleke, allegedly, I believe, trying to poison his drinks. He doesn't call the allegations. He said, my body, drugs cannot even hit my body. Patrick was talking like he was some kind of Iron Man robot, kind of, you can't do anything to my body. They've threatened him. We've seen the videos, heard all the, ambushes and all that. I don't want this thing to turn violent, but it is a simple thing. All right. Somebody said to me, Davido always copies, not Davido, Burna Boy always sings Fella's songs. Yeah, but he pays royalties to the coochies. You need to know how music business works. All right. I entered a Spar or a ShopRite, not ShopRite, but I entered a Spar and I heard they have a resident DJ in Spar. I heard Naira Marley's song playing on top. Do you know they're supposed to be paying Naira Marley to play his music up there? Abroad, you can't do that. You can have someone imitating Naira Marley on their own version, but you can't be the actual Naira song. In Nigeria, we get away with all these copyright infringements. So at the end of the day, people, if Burna sings any of Fella's songs, he's paying royalties to the coochies. You need to know that. That's how it works. Beyonce, same thing. Even when Whitney Houston sang Every Woman, I'm every woman, it's only in me. That's Shaka Khan's song, 1978. I was 13. Whitney herself had to pay royalties. So at the end of the day, guys, know how the music business works. But this new information that Patrick is, what's the word? He's just spraying out new information every day. I believe, being the investigative journalist, that police almost got to the end of this investigation. The Lagos State Police Department needs to reopen the case of DJ Olu, Chime, and Tagbo, especially Tagbo, okay, because of what Patrick just said, that Davido tried to poison me like they poisoned Tagbo. They're like, Davido's crew is big. All the people in the crew are starting to now talk. And for me, I've always stood on my ground that Tagbo was murdered, and DJ Olu and Chime were all murdered. I've always used murdered in the cases. Okay, so if you want to hear all the audios I did for the police commissioner, you have to go to my Instagram, Kemi Lawyer. They're in there, deep inside that Instagram. They were 1-minute videos. Just go to HNN Music, #HNN Music. So that's my recommendation. okay, to finally give these families a closure. I'm going to try and catch Patrick. It's Friday. It's not Friday. Today's the 23rd, Thursday. Right now it's about 1:30, 2 o'clock in Lagos, and um, let me see. Probably around 4 o'clock, I'm going to try and reach Patrick. I want to interview him, my own interview, because I'm like really shocked. It kind of vindicates me from the investigation I was doing. All right, guys, I'm just relaxing today. Just showered, put dust and powder on, and just chilling. I'm stressed out right now. You guys are stressing me. You're annoying me. I do so much hard work. You don't believe me until a year later. Kemi, I'm all alone.